I think they're working out or something. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, heating up.
Oh,
Warmer already.
another elf.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Let's React. I'm Kenny and this is my beautiful wife, Montana.
And today we're going to be reacting to Season 1, Episode 11 of Frieren, Winter in the Northern Lands.
Frieren and her companions just destroyed Aura and her forces.
Yeah, Frieren really handled that.
I mean, that was just peak. That was awesome. So I'm
good.
excited to see where the show goes from here. And if you're excited for more episodes of Frieren, make sure to hit like, comment, and subscribe down below for episodes coming every Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you can't wait and want to see these episodes right now, we are 11 episodes ahead on Patreon right now, along with all the episodes of the other shows we're watching, so make sure to check that out. All right, are we excited for episode 11 of Frieren?
Absolutely.
All right, let's get it.
Let's go.
Dunderheads, this video was brought to you by the incredible members of the Let's React Patreon. If you want access to a ton of exclusive perks, check out the link in the description below. Have a good day, Twinkle Toes!
All right, so the town is saved. Everything's okay. Pray.
Great news. Oh.
Mistress Frieren.
You took your time.
So, you defeated Aura.
Oh, praying over the soldiers that were taken over, I guess.
I don't believe what I see. I thought this day would never come.
Hurry along.
Stop there. Don't flee on my behalf.
Good news, the old softy said he would pardon you.
Oh, his son.
Oh, no.
Oh, wait, maybe not his son. Those are just all the different houses.
Mm-hmm.
It must have been a fierce battle.
No.
But none of them
You'd
are
be
seriously
surprised.
damaged. I thank you for treating the long-fallen heroes of the Northern Lands with such immense respect.
Oh, wait, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
And when she
no,
did
me
fight
either.
them, she didn't even blast them. She just
She didn't hurt them,
released. She just released the spell, and they fell down.
Yeah, so they could stop being
Yeah. Wow.
piloted in a disrespectful way.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And also very respectful.
Very honorable.
I used to cast flashy and destructive spells, but Himmel would always throw a fit.
The man had every right to. We should all respect the dead. I'd be angry too.
For all I've learned about your nature, Mr. Himmel trained you well.
You mustn't say it like that.
Yeah, he didn't train
Though I
you.
do suppose.
He kinda did, though.
Influence is different from training.
This is a perfectly normal reaction.
What do you mean by that?
Just talking to myself. Fern.
Real.
Stark. Good work besting Lugnier and his lackey. I'm
Oh,
proud.
Cute.
she's proud.
Sweet.
Though I would be more impressed if
They
you weren't
needed
so
that.
beat up.
Oh,
Stark got pretty beat up.
Mean to you.
it's for the
Like death
vibes.
itself.
See, they receive proper burials. I can escort our heroes from here.
Sir,
Escort. I wonder if he's going to join their
What
group.
is
He
it?
won't. Oh, they found
They
him.
did find him. Oh. He's at peace now, though.
Oh.
Frieren, I've never been so grateful as I am to you today.
Oh.
Oh. That is Wad. He's an upside down cat.
Yeah.
Frieren, for all that you've done for our city, I vowed to repay you in any way I could. You requested one thing.
Oh, the
Fama's
grimoire.
grimoire detailing the defensive barrier. An artifact that's been passed down my family tree for generations on end.
Is he related to Flamma?
I don't think so. I think that Flamma just made the city, so
Oh, okay.
his family seems to protect
Gotcha.
it.
Before it's too late to take back your request, you should know this grimoire.
I know, it's fake.
That's correct. Though it does describe a type of barrier. It's nothing like the one that protects our walls. That spell is passed by tongue.
I am well aware of that, my lord. It's just for a hobby of mine.
I see. Whatever the case, there's no reason to be so formal with me. Through your eyes, I must look like a babe fresh out of the cradle.
Interesting.
Better
Because he
than
was.
to test nobility since my departure to defeat the Demon King.
Master Heiter mentioned the capital. How disrespecting nobility there is punishable by death.
Interesting.
Himmel and Eisen nearly lost their heads for daring to speak so casually to His Majesty.
Oh no.
Takes me back. Proud Himmel whimpering like a kitten.
Execution sounds like overkill, don't you think?
Yeah.
Watch your tone with me.
See, this is what I mean.
The way that you've spoken thus far is a serious offense.
Like that.
Sorry, old timer.
And then he says
You
to.
better kiss your fancy chair goodbye. I'm glad you aren't like those barbaric
Yeah, he's like, that
Centralanders,
would have
my
been a
lord."
problem.
You've got to be kidding me!
Work is done. Trees are pruned.
Thank you. Don't worry, kid. I only said that so you wouldn't waste valuable time saving me. I won't chop your head off or throw you in jail for forgetting your sirs and ma'ams.
Much appreciated.
Say thank you. You're the one who... He's petrified.
He's gonna be out for a bit.
Come on, that's what anybody would do.
Those are big burgers.
Yeah.
Yum.
Maybe Frieren's just tiny.
Fair.
Oh,
Fern's
it's like
tall,
our first
though.
mid-episode big song.
Alright.
Interesting, she's still reading the fake grimoire.
Yeah, just for her collection, or...
Seems.
Cute. Of course, all the kids love Stark.
Yeah.
Northern Lights.
We are in the northern
I thought,
lands.
yeah. We're already pretty far north, then.
This song is beautiful.
It is gorgeous.
This is also not
The
a real
vocals.
world, so we gotta remember it's...
They could have Northern Lights anywhere.
Yeah. Especially in the northern lands.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they'll encounter all of them when they make it to heaven if they get there.
Good question.
Oh, those are their gravestones.
Shopping's all done.
Perfect. Are we ready to go?
Leaving so soon. A shame.
That song was beautiful.
Yeah.
Please, allow me to see you to the gates. Frieren, I hear you're traveling to Enda, home to the Demon King's castle and as far north as you can get. You should know, conditions on the northern plateau right now won't make for easy passage. Travel is heavily restricted. Even the most experienced adventurers must be accompanied by a first-class mage.
Then we'll be fine.
Is she
Clearly,
not?
Mistress Frieren qualifies.
Yeah. Duh.
What do you mean, first-class mage?
Very funny. You must know, it's a certification awarded by the Continental Magic Association.
A certification?
Oh, she never
She's
got
never
it.
been
Before we left the Holy
certified.
Capital.
Oh, so that's
See?
fine
This
anyway.
declares me
Oh,
a
no,
certified
third rank.
third-class mage.
Okay.
Come to think of it, I do remember you having some business. This is what your generation certificates look like?
Please don't tell me you're an unlicensed underground mage.
You make it sound like I'm some back alley doctor. The organizations that regulate
Black
mages
market
are
magic.
constantly changing. I can't obtain a new certification every time they bat an eye. I imagine the usefulness of this holy emblem has expired.
That would sell as an
Probably.
I know about the Continental Magic Association. They've been around for over half a century at the very least.
Exactly, no time at all. It's a hassle when they
Barely
change their
half a
standards of
century.
conduct so frequently.
In any case, we need to solve this problem if we want to continue. I don't know the name of the exact town.
Is she gonna have to go
If I
take the
remember
exam?
correctly,
Oh
there's a place
boy.
up north where she could take the exam, right?
Oh boy, she's
Stop.
gonna
The largest
destroy
magical
it.
city in the northern lands. Its name is Oistrest.
Oistrest.
It's far past the Schwer Mountains. You could follow the beaten path, but your journey would be arduously long. Frieren, the House of Granat will never forget what you've done. Safe travels.
Yay!
Wow.
First
All right.
mission complete, back on
Great.
the trail.
Great place to leave it.
This is precisely what D&D feels like, by the way.
Yeah.
Hey, it's snowing.
It is almost winter.
Make light of it and you're dead.
Will it really be that dangerous?
So you aren't aware? In the war against the Demon King, it wasn't the enemy that took the most lives, but the winters of the northern lands.
Oh.
Damn. That'll do it.
I mean, you gotta have a heating spell. Come on.
Oh, goody. Seems we're next.
Yeah, I'm sure.
What now?
Some way to stay warm. Build a shelter?
What are we gonna do?
We're lost. And worse still, we're lost before even entering the Schwer Mountains. How pitiful.
Mr. Stark, you need to wake up. Sleeping will kill you.
You really expect me to believe the Jumbo Berry Special has always been this small?
We have bigger issues than that. What should we do?
The strength of the wind takes any sort of magical transportation out of the question. He'd be blown across the sky.
Then I suppose we'll have to carry him. Goodness. He's a lot heavier than I thought he would be.
Why can't she float him again? The wind.
Yeah,
we
they were just saying magical transportation won't work.
Yeah.
You smell nice.
Can we just leave him?
Not quite yet. There should be an emergency shelter at the foot of the mountains.
And you know this from 80 years ago? Are you sure it'll still be there?
Hopefully it's still there.
Excellent. It looks to me like it's being maintained quite regularly.
Interesting thing to note. Who's maintaining it?
Somebody must have gotten here before us. We don't know if they're friend or foe.
At
Somebody's
this
working
point,
They're
out?
who
barking.
cares? I'd take either over freezing to death.
I think they're working out or something. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Heating up.
Oh,
Warmer already.
another elf.
Oh.
How old?
Pardon the intrusion.
Not a chance. We need to keep looking around. We cannot stay here.
Huh? Why not?
Because there's a pervert inside.
Pervert,
Why
you
is-
say?
pervert?
That's not nice.
Come on, Mr.
Why is he a
Frieren.
pervert?
Why
Let's go.
pervert?
Hold on. Are you an elf?
Why is he a pervert?
Because he was working out without a shirt. Like a
think.
slut.
Maybe. I'm confused.
I think that's what she was getting at.
300 years since
You whore, I bet you showered naked.
Yeah, like that's what Fern seemed to
Okay.
be saying. Wonder why the Demon King decided to kill all the elves.
I mean, individuals with such a long lifespan and such a massive, like, power potential because of that lifespan, like, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
It's been about 300 years since I've met another of my kind.
Oh wow.
I thought the last of the elves had already died out.
I thought so too.
Thank you.
Now
miss.
you could put a shirt
I
on,
appreciate
though.
the fire.
Wait a minute. If they both think the last of the elves have died out,
The last two elves on
the
Earth.
last two elves on Earth.
Is it up to them?
We're in the middle of this blizzard and the snow.
Oh my god. The rest of elves are depending on us.
Lucky that
The
it was
future.
mages who knocked at the door. The goddess must have led you straight to me.
The
I made it through the
goddess.
Spare Mountains, but as you'd expect, this blizzard put out my coals. The hut was a great find, but freezing nonetheless. I was doing squats to stay alive.
I understand.
Well, I suppose that makes one of us then.
Anyway, I'm Kraft the monk.
Pleasure. I'm
Monk.
Frieren the mage.
You mentioned heading to a railway, so you're on a journey to heaven? Good on you lot. Most folks aren't so pious.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Mistress Frieren. He keeps getting even colder.
Closer to the fire, maybe?
Where is he right
He's
now?
in a dark corner.
Warm and so cozy. Now that's the Jumbo Berry Special I remember. Hold on.
The thumbs up.
What happened to me? Last I remember, we got caught in a blizzard.
Oh?
Oh. Very cozy. He's like, what is happening
He's
right
like, I'm
now?
warm now. He's like, I'm gonna go back to bed.
Who the heck are you?
Must you be so noisy?
That's no way to thank someone for donating their body heat. I saved your life.
With your body heat?
I mean,
Oh wow, nice body for an old guy.
Well done.
Can I not appreciate a man's hard work?
You're the one who called him a pervert instantaneously, Fern. I think you're a little bit more blunt.
Well, that was blunt.
Can I not appreciate a man's hard work? It's obvious he's been training for decades.
He is quite ripped. And another jacket, amazing animation.
All right, yeah.
Who animated all the jacket put-ons in this show?
I'm Stark. You are...
They call me Kraft the monk.
Kraft?
I can't
heard
say
that
I've
too.
ever heard of you, but you must be super famous in the monk world, right?
Stark, you should stay and rest a bit longer. You two can help me bring in some food supplies. My wagon and cargo shouldn't be too far.
Oh.
Running into you was a real blessing.
Wow.
I have enough supplies here to last us for a long while. Please, use anything you'd like.
You think he joins the party?
Maybe.
I'm curious, Frieren. Do
Handy.
you have any idea who I am?
Not in the slightest.
I didn't think so.
Is he
I don't know the
famous?
first thing about you either.
She's the mage from the party that killed the Demon King.
And before that,
What is
And
it you're
before
getting
that.
at?
just that you and I are elves, I suppose.
Are they from the same place?
Huh.
Maybe?
Oh, he's helping Stark train.
Hmm.
That's cute. That looks cozy.
Ah, they're starting to pray with them. But Frieren isn't yet. Yeah, didn't kill the bunny rabbit.
No.
Probably a monk thing. So now they're all praying by it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that means they've all bought
been
into
nearly
him
6
and
months now.
like him.
Yeah.
Thanks to you all, we did what most can't, and survived a grueling winter in the northern lands. Take this. Please give it to Fern for me, will you? A fitting token for a girl as pious as she is. I guess being raised by a priest would do that to a person.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Never
yeah.
forgets to thank the goddess.
Will you explain to me why you believe in the goddess Kraft?
On one condition, you explain why you don't.
I find it incredibly odd that, if you exclude the age of mythology, the goddess of creation hasn't shown herself once in the massively long history of this world.
You're still young. I used to think the very same way.
How old is he?
These days, I believe the goddess
I mean, he's
exists
got to
from
be
the
a
bottom
lot
of my
older
heart.
than Frieren.
It's more like I need her to exist. Everyone else who knew of my righteous triumphs, my acts of justice, they're long gone. But
Interesting.
when I die, I'll go to heaven, and there the goddess will praise me at last. You've done well, Kraft. I'm proud.
Kraft.
The life you lived was one of great worth. Good job. You understand, Frieren.
Dang, that
Your
is...
path in life
Religion
has
has
not
to
been
be real
easy.
so someone can
For
tell
no
me
one
I
to
was
remember
good.
Everything you've done is painful and cruel.
She doesn't
To
care,
even
though.
reach this moment now.
Well, why would
we
you?
have lived lives and lives on end.
Kraft. Being remembered is something we all selfishly desire.
You're right. And how does heaven play into that picture? It's no matter. Tell me about your life, and I'll tell you about mine. I think every soul needs someone to praise them, so if you don't have the goddess, then I'll do it instead.
Interesting.
Surprised.
Gorgeous.
Absolutely. I didn't think you were the type to fund the reconstruction of some little village's orphanage.
At least you're honest. You know, I was an orphan once, too. When my time here ends, I'd like to believe the goddess will praise me for a life righteously lived.
Yeah. Oh, just like their
Such
monk.
thoughts to have with a drink in your hand, O corrupt priest.
Slash, like, priest, yeah.
Frieren, I have to ask, do you feel that you have someone to praise you?
Wherever did that come from?
I just wonder, who's there to celebrate you if you don't believe in the goddess? I'm sure you figured it out, but if not, perhaps I could praise you instead.
I haven't done very
Interesting
much
that
with
they're
my
saying the
life at all.
same thing.
Certainly
Yeah.
nothing I'd consider praiseworthy.
And what about the constant suppression of your mana? If you ask me, the power to do what you do seems like the result of tremendous effort. Such skill would take a lifetime to acquire.
You could tell?
We've traveled together for years. Now tell me the story of it all.
I can assure you it's not interesting.
I truly don't mind. And besides,
I also doubt
it might come
that.
in handy someday. Perhaps I'll have a child who becomes a mage and can make use of the knowledge.
Oh,
I thought the
He
priests
manifested
didn't
it.
marry.
Wow.
I can't put my finger on why, but the goddess attracts the strangest of people.
Whoa.
Afraid I must pass. I've had someone praise me enough for a lifetime.
I see. You're lucky to have good friends, so please, cherish them.
Well, it's too late. He's
Oh.
already made his way to heaven.
No trouble, for you'll meet again.
Yes, you're right.
I have to say, the show is setting up the greatest reunion ever at the end if they make it to happen.
100%.
Like, if
That
she
would
gets to,
be
like, hug Himmel, or, like...
And like have a talk with him and get to say everything that she wished she could have said. That would,
My goodness.
that would be amazing.
And the way he said cherish them, and he is an elf that's older than her.
Yeah.
Like, it's interesting that his mindset evolved to be
Yes,
more like
you're right.
hers. Or to be a more advanced version of hers.
Well,
like,
Yeah.
I'm headed this way.
maybe this happens to a
Frieren.
lot of elves.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't the last time we'll meet. I'll see you in a century or two.
Wow.
Take care of yourself, old man. Nice getting to know ya.
Thank you for the pendant. It means very much to me.
Wow.
Wow.
Great
Gorgeous.
episode.
Throughout history, many heroes tried to pull the sword from its rocky sheath, but none were successful.
Isn't the sword not there anymore because Himmel took it?
Might have
Or did he
returned
put
from
it back?
death.
Why is that?
Oh. That's a big guy.
Yeah. What are your first thoughts?
That was a very theological twist I wasn't expecting.
Really?
Yeah.
I always find it more compelling in shows like this when something like that happens because like there is magic. Like,
yeah.
you know, like,
Exactly.
like yeah.
100%.
I find it interesting, like the difference in perspective of two different elves and one that's clearly older than Frieren having a more human-like mentality in a sense, it seemed.
Yeah, well, I feel like they presented Frieren as having a very unique perspective for an elf. But then if the only other elf we meet thinks like her, but then even beyond that, because he's had more time to feel the things that pushed her to where she is, I wonder if it really was that uncommon.
Yeah, like I feel like I didn't expect to meet another elf, and it just like I'm still in my brain sticking, and we'll talk about more in the discussion, but in my brain sticking that he said cherish them. You have good friends, cherish them. When like that didn't cross her mind when they were first friends. It only when they died. Like I wonder if he had people die as well. But anyway,
Probably.
we have a lot to discuss, but thank you for watching, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below if you enjoyed that episode and are excited for more episodes of Frieren coming every Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to support us as creators and can't wait to watch more episodes, check out the Patreon link in the description below where these episodes are all posted in their extended full-length forms. We have a lot to discuss, but before we do that, where are we headed?
All right, let's review.
Thank you for watching. For now, we're going to go to questions given to us by our incredible Patreon members. If you want to ask us questions we answer after every episode of any show we watch, join the link in the description below and start asking. For now, let's go to question 1. Question 1, Olivia asks, now that you've met two elves, what are your thoughts on their differences/similarities? What do you think about Kraft's relationship with spirituality? So his reasoning was, I believe in the goddess because when I die, I'm going to go to heaven and I'm going to get praised and said, hey, you lived a great life, you did great deeds. And because everybody keeps dying, nobody's remembering all my deeds. So I won't be satisfied until I go to heaven and get praised for everything.
I mean, I think the idea of I believe in it because I have to, I don't want to come across as judgmental because I understand how people in really horrible situations can sometimes need to believe that there's something better and that's the only way that they're able to make it through those situations. But for the most part, being praised is not, I don't know, I think it's fundamentally flawed reasoning.
I think it's, so like, I think that being a monk who solely does being a monk and believing in the goddess in order to get praised at the end is an odd approach to take to it. But
because isn't the whole point of like,
well, this is not
it's
Western.
not,
this is
yeah,
not
I mean, it's a, yeah.
Or this is not,
we don't know all of the rules of their religion, but I feel like typically doing the right thing and then not being praised for it is like the whole bit. Like you're supposed to do it.
But ultimately it's supposed to get you into heaven and then you get praised there. That's kind of the back end of that statement. Like the story in the Bible of like, there was a like righteous man. So there was a man who like took a small amount of coins and like threw them into the offering thing, and it made this loud clanging with the metal. And then there was like a very rich person who didn't wear rich clothes who like put theirs in and nobody heard it, but it was far more money. And that's meant to be like a representation of like, well, you do that here, and then once you get to heaven,
you're not supposed to be doing
praise.
it for attention or for anything
except to get into heaven.
Yeah.
Like, which is, that's kind of what he's doing. This is the thing is, so when Frieren said the person that praised her already died, do you think she was referring to Himmel or the priest? I think the priest, because he said, tell me everything about like your times and I'll praise you right now.
Yeah, and I'll praise you. Yeah, probably the priest.
Yeah, and I also found it interesting that Frieren said everybody desires to be remembered in that way when she doesn't take steps to do that. Maybe it's because she had that desire and then it was quenched by...
Well, didn't she like acknowledge that it was like small and selfish to do that?
Yeah, but she did say everybody has the desire.
Well, yeah, but everyone is like born inherently only fulfilling their own desires, and then you grow up and start doing things for other people.
There's a difference between desire suppression for being a better person and Frieren's case, which seems to mean no desire.
Well, I think once you unpack the desire and recognize, this is a little bit weird, then you just don't ever try to do it again because you've already figured it out.
I feel like it really was once she listed it all to the priest and said her piece, she just no longer needed that anymore. But then the guy firing back with like, you should cherish your friends, and then she's like, well, they already passed. Like their difference in mindsets was far greater than I thought it would be for two elves.
Me too.
And he made it clear. Also, I love the writing in this show. Like in one line, like he was like, well, you're younger, he said it in a way that was so casual, but it let us know like, oh, he's a much older elf.
Yeah, totally.
But he has a different mindset. Maybe Frieren doesn't believe in the goddess, but does believe in cherishing moments and taking time with your friends, because the death of Himmel and all of them, mainly Himmel, like really prompted her to change her mindset. And you'd think that the cherishing of in the moment would make you enjoy the moment more, yet when we encounter an elf that is older and clearly wants to cherish the moment more, he's not even focused on the people around him, he's focused on pleasing a goddess that he'll meet later on.
Yeah.
But it's just interesting to tell somebody to cherish something while you're not cherishing and instead are doing everything for a future in heaven. All right, question 2. David Bodor asks, what do you think of Himmel chiding Frieren for destroying the bodies of fallen soldiers in the past? In a life or death fight, how much would you be willing to hold back to preserve those already fallen? So, in a fight, when you have a mage and you have a enemy, the enemy will maybe kill some of your friendly friends, like the soldiers.
Right.
A mage will fire off a massive blast, and it could hit your fallen soldiers or their fallen soldiers or their people.
Okay.
So Frieren no longer uses these big, massive attacks because there's too much collateral on people who are already dead, and clearly people like the leader of that city really appreciate when they can bury their dead and they have the bodies.
Right.
So Himmel would get on to her for like, hey, you just launched a solar beam and it like we have nothing left to bury.
Right.
Like, what do you make of Himmel getting on to her for that? And really just the concept of it in general.
I mean, it's such a human thing. Like humans burying our dead. That's such a fundamental core thing of what makes us and different from animals.
That's interesting because she, not having known much of her kind ever, or we saw that her village like got attacked, but like after that, she probably never had to deal with the death of one of her kind ever.
Completely. I saw something the other day that this is kind of reminding me of, that like we think of our lives as humans as like this fight between good and evil, like we're torn, we can either do something good or do something bad, and that's not like a super accurate representation of the way that our lives are now. Most of the time it's doing something good versus doing nothing. And the idea that it's so much easier to do nothing and it would be a lot more convenient to do nothing. But doing something good and like going out of our way to help a fellow person, that's like the thing that makes us human. And that's such an important thing to recognize and preserve. So for Himmel to have that kind of influence on Frieren, I feel like is humanizing her almost.
You know, that's interesting because that might be something that she had learned before she really, like, the big flip in mindset for Frieren was when Himmel died.
Yeah.
That seems like the way she described it, that was starting to happen prior.
Exactly.
So she was already kind of going down that path of being more human. And like, I'm interested because the juxtaposition of Fern fighting versus Frieren, like Fern was blowing it out.
Yeah.
Like every spell in the book. So that maybe that was a lot more like younger Frieren.
Yeah.
But now Frieren has grown skilled enough. But yeah, even then, like taking that into account and learn and like caring about it because Himmel cares about it seems to be something that she's done. And now it's almost like because she's cared about things Himmel has cared about long enough, it's now what she cares about.
Yeah.
Even though she claims it's a short amount of time, she's underwent a huge change. But in terms of being able to do that in a life or death situation, like that's a bit of a gamble to actually be thinking about that. Like in order to avoid hitting dead bodies, you have to be so in command of your craft and the fight. Like that's a pretty big ask for somebody with large magical ability.
That's what I was thinking. Like if you can, you absolutely should. If you're in a situation where like you feel you have the fight under control enough where you can limit your power for the sake of preserving the dead, absolutely. If you can't, though, I don't think it makes you a bad person to fully defend yourself within your capabilities. And if someone who was already dead gets damaged in the like that, there's not a whole lot you can do about that. I fear.
I feel like Himmel probably went at her from the perspective of, I know how powerful you are. I know how in command you were of this fight. You didn't need to use that big of a spell, like type of thing. But
yeah.
Interesting that she's adopted it all this time later. But let's go to our final question. Final question. HPOM24 asks, this show has been pretty episodic until a few episodes ago. How did you like the first real story arc in the series?
I thought it was really cool. After hearing so much about the fight with the Demon King, it was a cool, like, I don't know, it's easy to think about Frieren's like previous adventures as like a completely separate thing, but knowing that the people that she was fighting in like the last couple episodes knew all about the Demon King and were very aware of kind of how all that went down, it makes it feel like such a well filled out show. I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I feel like this show, like, it's a bit like an embroidery, if I'm using that term correctly, where there's all of these different strands that just, maybe not embroidery, or just a tapestry, where all these different strands were just woven in. And at first it just kind of seemed like an accumulation of like different strands and just kind of putting them together randomly. But like, I love how every like strands typically go down and up, right? And
yeah.
Like, it feels like you'll hear a quote or see a moment and then it'll go down. And then later it comes back. And like, it shows that this whole show is just weaving into itself and making this, like every little moment, you're like, oh, that was set up so well by previous like one-liner. Like
that's such a great example or like way to describe that.
Yeah, and like, well, for example, the guy, the leader of the town, pulling out the sword and be like, this was my son's sword, blah blah. And in the flashback, they don't have him say, well, my son fought Aura the guillotine. They show, well, Aura has this, and it shows somebody running with that distinctive sword, and you know that was his son. Exactly. That's how his son died. This is what Aura does with their powers. Then we see later on a fallen soldier has the same crest on. Like, it's just this show thinks the watchers are smart, which I really like.
Yes.
And I enjoy the first story. I enjoyed the first story arc because every character was set up so well that when they let loose, it wasn't like they were just like, and now they kill everybody. It was, you don't even know what's going to happen because this hasn't been a story up till this point. You've just been learning the characters. So now you get to see how they act in these situations. And they're just, somehow they're giving us the widest base, but not going very deep in. So the moments they do, it just pays off in a huge way. Like
totally.
The pacing of this show is very, very unique, and I really like it. I feel like it's fine-tuned is the word, where like it pushes, it pulls, but once you go with the flow of it, it can be either episodic or a storyline based thing whenever it decides to jump into one. Like I really like the way the story has gone, being a mixture of the episodic with it's almost Gravity Falls-esque.
Yeah.
Where like you have these episodes where it's like he's just going back in time to like try to not hit her in the head with the baseball, but throughout it you learn about time travel and you learn about like the issues that come with it, and then a few episodes later that comes back and then it's actually a story. Like I love it. Yeah, but anyway, that is where we are left for episode 11 of Frieren. Are we excited for episode 12?
Can't wait.
All right, let's get it.
Let's go.